Ooh-wee. I'm not feeling super fantastic today. I ate some molded cheese, and now my balls hurt. Is the circle. Well, I hope y'all are doing better. Get on to some really irrelevant content right here, but I hope y'all enjoy. Up grinding Szechuan peppercorn. Call that rich and more tasty. Kill me. I've been so EP lately. It's probably not the adrenal fatigue from drinking coffee and tea all day long or anything. It's probably just normal to be tired and nappy all the time. Fun fact: Celtic militaries would fine you if your belly hung over your belt line. Good methodology. Basically, anything else, no, variable, but that is definitely a bad sign of military capability, at least in the ancient world. I've been writing Celtic with an S and Celt with a K. Keep my nomenclature on point. Without the CH in the Celtic language that makes a K sound, you gotta. And German phonetics are just. The Dark Souls 1 character, Domhnall, a merchant with a Welsh accent, who chills out under the bridge. He's actually, I noticed this recently, he's actually wearing the Henry VIII orgy mask with the little glasses and the horns. It's interesting when you find out that the Tudor family Henry comes from is of Welsh blood. In fact, that's actually what Tudor means. It means foreigner in the proper English tongue in it. It's really quite humorous when the English mock American accents. Like the founding fathers of America didn't speak perfect English. Like their aristocracy didn't declare that same accent improper, or to spite our manifestation of independent nationhood. I pity them. You ever blow out a candle too hard and the melted wax spills all over your face? Disaster. Absolute disaster. Look out for wax splashback. That's good. People say Warhammer 40k is fascist or something, but I've cried far less since getting into it. It's good for my soul, because there's a lot of bad things that happen in the world, and to see a science fiction of grim darkness is almost balancing for the humors, as long as it's done correctly. You see, nothing's worse than crap like Trench Crusade that comes up around behind Warhammer 40k and apes it, and then just it's like pure slop. I mean, people are mostly associating AI with slop these days, but slop is in general just something that's just kind of like thrown on the board with very little care. And that's Trench Crusade. You'd think the chimp scientist Jane Austen would be the sickest person on the planet and not living to old age comfortably if you believe the old hypothesis that monkey labs have nothing to do with proliferating monkey viruses in human populations. Really makes you stink. Pope Francis probably got really stressed out when it came to the inevitable conclusion that the destruction of Mother Church could be amended by deeply flawed individuals like Donald Trump. And that stress probably is one of the reasons why he got so sick. His condition is stabilized last time I checked, but it's still critical. Long-bearded, salt-of-the-earth rednecks aren't white trash. Not all the time. Less and less, as the neo-Confederate movement starts to drop more and more out of play. Real white trash are children of suburbia with awful tattoos scrawled on them sloppily, with pharmaceutical addictions and violent tendencies. That's white trash. There are a lot of smart people in Trump's ear. But by far the worst of them are those that ideologically align with Nazism, which is something that Trump doesn't actually do, ever. Like doing drugs and lying is going to work this time around. Because the cope of you being able to go to space was really what was preventing you from being able to win, right? Speaking of which, should be experiencing a rocket launch any minute now. I actually timed this stream specifically so I could try and pick that up. It's gonna be a big one. Go to the moon. Zionism and its theosophical roots are born of hypocrisy. You can't be both parasite and predator, yet that is what we see. In nature, the two niches are not simultaneously occupied. But in that, it is. See if I can pick up this rocket launch for you guys. Put my trust in you. Push as far as I can go. Hold on, there's only one thing you should know. I put my trust in you. Pushed as far as I can go. Another week, another launch. Sorry for anybody who doesn't have any sort of bass pickup on their output, because you're not going to be able to hear anything. It's just going to be like a minute of next to no commentary and no sound. My apologies for you. I turned the gain all the way up, and I turned the volume all the way up, so it's probably picking that up. Is that it? They might just be doing early testing, because that doesn't seem like it's loud enough to be an actual rocket launch. Who knows? Peak streaming right here. Peak streaming. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna balance my sounds and go back to continuing the stream. There we go. Alright, much better. Rumble real? Nah, not until they fix their latency issues. Nope. Rumble not real. Racism is a good strategy if you want endless bloodshed, tragedy, and destruction. Like how Zionists get rich selling conflict between peoples, but it is not the solution to any of their pain. It's only inflammation of their pain, and then they mill the weapons in order to make their fortunes off of that conflict. There was a Jewish commissioner that messed up my county real bad during COVID. And his emails leaked, and turns out he openly jokes about wanting to abort his political enemy's children. So there's a big thing. I think abortion is also kind of code for killing children that are already, you know, born and growing a little bit. So I really genuinely, I've never seen that sort of behavior leaked from any other culture of people. Just that one. And the media and the news, if you watch nothing but Fox News, and if you watch nothing but the distilled propaganda of some of the dumbest people in this country, like Mike Pompeo, then you would probably think that Muslims want to kill children. But if anything, this last couple of years has shown me, it's that the nation of Iran has tremendous patience, and they want peace as opposed to war. So far, there is no actual physical evidence that any of the things that the mainstream media has blamed on them is them, just as there's no evidence of zero G, negative G, Chinese drones, Chinese ocean motherships, gigantic, big as the eye can see, all these fantastical fantasy, science fiction, false claims, trying to cook up a half-baked casus belli to attack a nation that isn't even threatening us. It's a shame. And Qasem Soleimani was a real anti-ISIS fighter. And it sucks that that's what being a genuinely good person gets you in the Middle East. And I hate to say it, but it's a lot to do with the Ottoman Empire. Persia fought real hard. See, there were 3 Muslim gunpowder empires. There was the Mughals in India, that just basically drained all of India's money, built the Taj Mahal, caused famine because of building the Taj Mahal, extracted a bunch of jewels and gems, sold it to the British, and escaped into Pakistan. That's the Mughals. Then there's Persia, the most noble of the 3. And Persia was just Persia. Persia's always been Persia. Although after Tamerlane swept in, Tehran became the center of Persia, and then that is the land of the Turks. That's what Tehran translates to, land of the Turks. So it's been Turkified, but it's still of Persian culture and tons of Persian blood and multiple different types of cultures that haven't gone through the Ataturkification, the genocide of minority cultures like the Armenians and the Kurds in order to establish a ethno-state for Seljuks in Turkey. And that was the center of the Ottoman Empire, and everything attached to the Ottoman Empire has just been completely and utterly decimated. It is a nightmare for all the people living in that that fully decrepit post-empire region. I really dislike Turkey. Turkey really, really does tend to show their ass on the world stage when it comes to who they side with and what their general opinions are and what they continue to do, which is continuing the work of Ataturk in genocide on multiple different levels. Is what it is, you know. Did you know the writer and psychonaut Hunter S. Thompson invented adrenochrome as a story, as a fictional entity, as a way to try and explain in a secular and pragmatic reasoning way the pragmatic reasoning for child sacrifice rituals of Masons and their predecessors. The Masons are the temple builders, and not every temple is directed towards God, you see. And on that note, we can hardly accurately ascribe it to Lucifer Morningstar. That's why we say the Taurus demon Moloch, the bull-headed demon Moloch. It's something that Skull and Bones likes to roleplay as. That's something that's been spotted on Epstein Island, based on accounts, is that they'll put on a bull mask and then just run around raping everything they can get their hands on. It's a little game they like to play in Epstein Island. Yeah, as I repeat multiple times on this podcast, if there was another culture that was acting this way, I would be glad to point it out because it'd be humorous to outline. It's not really humorous, but it would be something worthy of note, and I just don't see it. The Chinese are very simple, hardworking, industrious people, and the Indians, though they have an extremely high level of scammers, are once again simple, industrious, nature-loving people. Very similar with those two cultures. It's a shame that they're pitted against each other so hard, but they are very similar. And the Europeans are some of the nicest people in their hearts, despite the fact that if you would listen to nothing but left wing propaganda, you would think that Europeans are just one gun in the hand away from committing another World War One, another World War Two, and that was multiple lines around the world establishing themselves because of things like the Muslim gunpowder empire, because of things like uh, checks and balances of power on the global stage, and the British Empire and the Dutch trading empire. That's that's what started, and America and Woodrow Wilson, who hate to find out was a presbyter. That breaks my heart. I love the Presbyterians, but he was called a new type of presbyter. Literally, just imagine Woodrow Wilson with the Clinton accent going, "I'm a new type of presbyter." But no, most people are good. You know, Africans are decent people in their hearts, except for the Dahomeans, those evil slave traders. Um, a lot of, and they're actually original African culture, fetishist culture. There's a lot of Muslim slave trading, a ton of Muslim slave trading. There's a ton of Phoenician slave trading. That's Jewish slave trading. Um, and most of the slave trading took place in the areas with the highest amount of Jewish expats, such as Portugal, Spain, uh, Netherlands, and England. And specifically, the area with the most amount of Jewish influence, which is the Ottoman Empire. Yeah, I could ramble on that for a while, but you get the picture. Taurus Demon Moloch. Gotta look out for that. And by the way, if anybody's wondering, Alpha does not mean head honcho. It literally just means first in line. So if you have a very mentally ill and insecure stack of people, then the pushiest and most assertive would be the alpha. But in wolf packs, the head of the pack stays at the back. Nobody watches his back. His senses are sharp. He watches everybody else's back, you see. The silliest thing about Elon is that he doesn't know any meme that was popular before, like, 2018. He doesn't know O'Reilly Owl. He doesn't know if the cake is true or a lie. He doesn't know about Bad Luck Brian. He doesn't know about Socially Awkward Penguin. I bet money he's never heard Chris Chan screaming at his trolls. He's got like 2 memes. And I hate to say this, but it's true. Typical groomer, he only knows memes like in the most surface level, tepid way because he knows that it's cool and popular. And so he's just like, what's the coolest and popular of this cool popular thing? Yeah. I will go into this. I will be this culture. I am the head of this culture. I am the alpha. I can't do a very good can't do a very good Elon. I'll try. I'll work on that a little bit. Rick and Morty kind of killed off whimsy culture, to be honest. Now it's just all multitudinous layers of irony. But hey, in general, people's mental health feels significantly better in 2025 than it was in 2023. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. Some people are losing their minds and freaking out, but it really does feel like the energy has changed a little bit and people are calmer and less feral. People are going full-blown feral. Adult Swim excels at ruining things, even Smiling Friends. It's getting fat-fetted and feral. And if they just calm down a little bit, they can stick around for a while, but Adult Swim is not a good foundation for you. They're probably always constantly pushing things to get more and more stupid, to dumb down people so they get more money from the institutions that pool money into themselves so that they can constantly do international bank runs, make people more viewing their neighbors as a tasty little treat, as Alex Jones went on his podcast and said. And by the way, Alex Jones could very well have been the spiritual successor to Hunter S. Thompson, but Hunter S. Thompson still had in his heart a deep dedication to the general public's well-being. And Alex Jones, as a older generation X who has been exposed to some of the most like melting radioactive culture that has ever been produced on this planet, has indeed gone completely crazy. And if you listen to the guy for like an hour, you will walk away from it with your head just swimming, like you literally just left an insane asylum. He is an insane man. And not insane like Kanye, like Kanye has his brain like melted down to a 40 IQ because he's taken lithium so much and he really is genuinely stupid. Alex Jones is like 120 IQ insane, scary insane, capable insane. And that doesn't mean I want him to suffer or anything, but I just don't like him, you know? I don't like listening to him. I don't like the stuff that he constantly ends up getting cherry-picked from stuff that he says. You gotta be careful with that, man. I'd like to see an Alex Jones chilling out arc. That'd be cool. I like to see Alex Jones getting old and chill and cool and storied and legacy. That'd be nice, but like right now he's still just rambling on. And one thing that really lost me was the supplements. Anybody who sells supplements is just like, get the hell out of here, man. Oh, we found lead in your supplements? I'm not even surprised. I'm not even surprised that that's the thing that you are convincing people would be good for their health, because supplements themselves are unregulated and it's just a big mess. It's literally gambling. You're gambling with your health if you take supplements. I'm talking about like the branded supplements, you know what I'm saying, that have a patent protected. It's like vaccines. That's the crazy thing. It's like vaccines because it's patent protected. You don't know what's in there until somebody gets a mass spectrometer on that thing. They found out the paleo blend does contain lead. It's a little too paleo for my taste, dude. Oh wow. If you think about it, clickbait thumbnails that never get explained in the video that they're attached to are now the new memes. You got your red arrows, your red circles, you got your AI-induced black flowing tears that looks horrifying. Everybody's faces look like demons. It's basically the new meme. And here's the kicker. When Trump inevitably reins Elon in, which it will happen, believe me, it will happen, will he capitulate or will he go, actually, I run things now, and, you're fired, before getting ventilated by his honor guard? How will that go? Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. Because so far, this insane blitzkrieg of just, like, complete and utter tyrannical, in the case of Elon, and almost, automate it. Like, it's like Trump's trying to automate it because Elon's telling him he can automate it, but Elon's automating is tyrannical, so it's coming off as Trump is tyrannical. But I've been watching the minutes. You know, it's almost all Elon that's inflicting the pain here, and it's getting people upset. And at this rate, and Trump is aware of this, he's aware of this, at this rate, by the midterms, there will be a Democratic sweep. And those Democrats will be some of the most annoying people out there, like that guy that said, we're going to get everybody a big truck. Real funny, my man. I mean, at least he's a Marine, but at the same time, I forgot that guy's name. He's like a Mexican. And this is the big reason why I don't respect Mexico, is because you people are loud and annoying and obnoxious. Like, compared to anybody else in Latin America, you're the most loud, annoying, and obnoxious. Brazil is just as loud as you, but they're not as obnoxious as you. They focus on, like, more beauty and more, just genuine beauty, instead of, let's be, like, you know, the Dan Bongino line of power. Power's the only thing that matters, which everybody who knows anything knows that the most powerful chimp who throws his weight around gets beaten to death in the middle of the night. It's about coordination, it's about charisma, it's about patience, about intelligence. That's what makes a good leader. That's what's one of the good things about Trump consistently throughout his entire life. It's wild that car interiors have completely atrophied in style Save for the minor bit of enhancement given by LED displays. That goes pretty hard in the middle of the night when that comes on. But that's mostly going away for the computer console. That terrible thing in the center that's just a big mess waiting to happen. Now every mechanic shop has to have a coder in it on call too. Come on, guys. Like, melt everything together, why don't you? Here's some real facts. Mini Coopers pull baddies. Trucks are a chick repellent. And this isn't a bit. I'm not joking. I'm not jonkling. This is serious. I am 100% serious. Right hand to God. Mini Coopers pull baddies. And they're like super small. You know what doesn't pull baddies that's small? Smart cars. Smart cars will not pull baddies. Mini Coopers pull baddies. And also, like, baddies love London for some reason. They love, you know, soft-spoken Englishmen. They love that. That's like their favorite thing in the world. So keep that in mind when you think that this like hyper-aggressive, like pseudo-masculine facade of power is somehow attractive to women. Like, nah, man. Nah. By the way, AI is a huge shell game. What it does, instead of provide accurate answers to input, is it hallucinates answers it thinks sound like an accurate answer, but it is unable to distinguish an accurate answer from an answer that sounds like an accurate answer, and the degree to which it trains itself off of itself, which is the degree to which people downsize their coders and use AI to code, is the degree to which its hallucinations intensify and the degree to which its accuracy degrades. That is an absolute fact. That is based on real science, and that is why I'm not afraid of AI. I'm just disappointed in the people that have leaned into AI and watching them get stupider as they do so. And that's not to say that, you know, you use AI once and you're tainted with a mark of Cain or something. No. It's just people who use ChatGPT for everything. It's people who use AI thumbnails all the time. It's people that can't just take a little, like, it's great to have something where you can cook up an easy thumbnail, a nice little song, in a quick amount of time in your busy schedule. It's not okay to lean on that crutch all the time and atrophy your natural muscles and become stupider because you think that that's moving in the right direction. Microsoft is a very intelligent company. Say what you want. I hate Bill Gates. But the new leadership in Microsoft, who's not Bill Gates, has basically admitted to everybody, yeah, AI is not keeping up with the benchmarks for the 10% yearly growth that we attain to. It's literally a hole. It's a money pit, and it's a waste of time and energy. It's a huge waste of energy, but I also think that a lot of the energy costs of AI has always been overplayed, and that a lot of that energy is quite literally being siphoned up into batteries and then stored underground. That's something I've thought for many, many years. But, you know, to cap off on AI, any art made by AI will be discounted as a cheap knockoff of the styles that it apes. Any movies directed by AI will be regarded lower than Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and that's a fact. That's a fact, Jack. And any video games programmed with overt AI assistance will be remembered less than the Flash games we played at school. Simple as. Alright, Joe. Don't eat it mold. Chores.